Let's talk about a role that so many of us know maybe a little too well, the designated therapist friend. You know, the rock, the one person who's a constant support system for everyone else. But what's the hidden cost of being that person? Today, we're diving into why the strong one in the group is so often the most quietly exhausted.
Does this just hit a little too close to home? Your phone buzzes, and you just know before you even look that it's a friend in crisis. They need your advice, your ear, your support. And look, it can feel good to be needed, to be that go-to person. But if this is your constant role, you probably know the flip side of that coin all too well.
Yeah, if you're that friend, this probably sounds like your daily life. You're the first call in an emergency, the 911 for every drama. But then, when you're the one having a bad day, who do you call? Your own needs get pushed to the back burner, and you get so tired of having to be the strong one. Honestly, just listening to everyone else's stuff can leave you feeling completely and totally drained.
Now, this isn't just you being tired. It's a deeper kind of exhaustion, isn't it? And guess what? There's actually a name for it, a name that really helps us understand what's going on under the surface. It's called emotional labor overload.
The key word here, the one I really want you to focus on, is unreciprocated. Emotional labor overload is that specific kind of burnout you get from constantly giving support, managing someone else's feelings, processing their drama, without ever getting that same energy back. Your role basically shifts from being a friend to being an unpaid, on-call emotional manager.
Looking at it side by side like this makes it so clear. On one hand, you have healthy friendships. They're built on mutual support. It's a two-way street, right? Both people feel heard, it's recharging for everyone, and it actually makes the friendship stronger. But then, you have emotional labor. That's a one-way street. And it's incredibly draining because one person is just giving and giving, creating this huge imbalance that over time can really damage the relationship.
Okay, so this imbalance often leads to something a lot of us feel really guilty about. We start to pull away. If you're the therapist friend, you might beat yourself up for wanting space. But what if I told you it's not a personal failing? There's a biological reason for this. It's like a protective switch deep inside your brain.
So let's get right to it. Why does this happen? Why do you suddenly have zero energy to answer that call? Why do you start avoiding that friend who always seems to have a brand new crisis every week? Well, I can tell you this. It is not because you're a bad person or a bad friend. It's something else going on entirely.
The answer, and this is a big one, is a phenomenon called attachment depletion. This is basically your brain's self-preservation system kicking into high gear. When your brain senses that a relationship is consistently draining your emotional energy without putting any back in, it does something amazing. It starts to pull back your emotional investment to protect.
And this doesn't just happen overnight. It's a process, and it usually follows these 3 steps. First, your brain, the brilliant accountant that it is, detects the imbalance. It notices, hey, there's no reciprocity here. Second, to stop the leak, it starts reducing your emotional investment. It's kind of like your brain going into low power mode. And finally, the self-preservation system fully activates, and your brain subconsciously downgrades that connection to protect your overall well-being.
So what do we do with all this? Well, understanding these concepts, emotional labor overload and attachment depletion, isn't just some academic exercise. It's a total game changer for how we see our relationships. It forces us to really rethink what true, healthy reciprocity actually looks like.
This right here is probably the most important takeaway. If you have ever pulled back from a friendship because you felt completely spent, it wasn't you failing. It was your brain doing its job. Think of it like an emotional bank account. You simply can't make endless withdrawals if there are no deposits coming in. Your brain is just being a good bank manager, stepping in to stop you from going into emotional bankruptcy. I love this quote because it gets to the very heart of the matter. We had this idea that a strong friendship needs one person to be the unshakable rock, but that's not it. A truly powerful connection is one where both people can be vulnerable, where both people can lean on each other, and you can take turns being the rock when life gets tough. So, I want to leave you with this final thought. Take a minute and really think about your own friendships. This isn't about keeping score or deciding who to cut off. It's just about awareness. Which of your relationships leave you feeling seen, supported, and energized? Which ones are truly recharging your battery? Because those are the foundations of a friendship that can really, truly last.